Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Happy New Year, 1968.
Yes, Happy New Year.
For 'tis the enemy of the world, episode 3.
It is.
As I've written in my notes, the one that exists. Because I can't get over the fact that, to my mind, this is still the one that exists.
Yes, for many years this was the only representation we had of the enemy of the world.
But we've kicked off 1968,
Mm-hmm.
and 1968 is clearly a year for good things, isn't it? Eh?
Yes.
Yes,
Stop nudging.
Stop nudging. All right. But this episode makes a lot more sense when you actually see it between episodes 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd seen it a lot of times before.
Yes.
But certainly the opening scenes, you're utterly confused.
Yeah, because there's no recap of the cliffhanger. It goes straight into the action.
What's going on, who any of these characters are.
Yeah.
So, inevitably, if you come to it just for episode 3,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't got a clue, really, have you?
No.
And later on, you get a character that you've never seen before and you'll never see again.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
It is weird. So it is very much the marking time episode.
It
really,
is.
it really
yes.
is.
It's what can we do, because we can't really advance the plot at the moment.
So,
So.
Even that first scene, I don't think until I'd seen episode 2 I realised where this was actually taking place.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outdoors set,
Yeah, it's a terrace, isn't
but
it?
you don't see the wider shot that
No.
you saw in episode 2.
No.
It's just a wall with some windows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and the location, the hopping from location to location, confused the hell out of me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most money's been spent on wallpaper
Yes,
this
possibly,
week, hasn't
yeah.
it? There's some real garish wallpaper about. And Salamander's weird wall safe
Yeah.
thing, because when it opens up, it's quite big actually.
Yeah.
Because
It goes back quite a long way.
there's a
doesn't it?
twiddly thing,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no much sign of a locking mechanism when he opens
No.
it, is there?
No.
And this is where you really get the thing that Salamander is a shifty sort when he starts doling
Yes.
out the poison and stuff.
Yes.
And that, we've had the production notes on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd never clocked that you've got Jamie as a McCrimmon talking to somebody who's a Bruce.
Yes. Yeah, no, that never occurred to me either. No.
Until today,
Yeah.
I'd never made that
No.
connection. It's
No.
so you can keep going back to these episodes.
Yeah, and discovering new things.
and-
yeah.
With the production notes on, I'm sitting there learning stuff.
Yeah.
And when would I first seen these episodes? A long time ago now, late 80s, because I think the first release of it was on the Troughton years, on the
Yeah.
VHS tape in the early 90s. But we would have had
You had a
pirate
copy, didn't
videos knocking around probably in the late
I
80s.
didn't have a pirate video. I saw it first on the Troughton years.
Yeah, and then you've got Bill Lyons as a guard on, and again, reading the end credits before
Yeah.
I sort of would have seen the episode, I would have read that as a guard on Deans,
Yes.
because I wondered who Deans was. We're of course
It's Danish.
talking Danish, and Bill Lyons known for writing all sorts of
Yeah.
things, including Blake Seven and.
Yes.
There's Juliet Bravo, Hartley's Midnight Cowboy, which sounds like it's more like an episode of Pipkins. I can imagine Hartley Hare dressed up as a cowboy
You'd
after
like that,
midnight.
yeah.
That line about it's easier to guard him in the corridor is an absolute nonsense,
It
though,
is,
isn't it?
it
It's
is.
just that we can't afford to build
We
a
can't
set.
afford a set. No.
So we've got the corridor set, and even moving the walls about a bit during production doesn't really make it seem
No.
much more
No.
elaborate. We'll get onto that. But yeah, suddenly we're in the kitchen with Griffin,
Yes.
going on, Victoria going on about Kaiser pudding,
Yeah.
and that's quite a nice sort of historical gag, I guess, that maybe you don't get these days. But whether there is such a thing as Kaiser
I
pudding,
think there is quite a pudding. Yeah. Yeah.
But that thing about to Victoria, there's no connotations to the word Kaiser.
No,
Yeah.
because she comes from a time when the Kaiser was just another sovereign.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause she comes from 1871, I think it is, isn't it?
At this point, remind me, everybody's related to Queen Victoria at this
Yes.
point, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the Kaiser that that Victoria is referring to is the grandfather of the Kaiser that would go to war with England, I think.
Right.
Because Victoria's eldest daughter, also called Victoria, there's a lot of Victorias, married his son, Frederick, and their son was Wilhelm, who was the
But is it
Kaiser.
the case that a lot of people in these royal families,
Yeah.
that the blokes all look quite similar? They've all got
Yeah,
beards.
yeah, it was the fashion to have beards. And I mean, there is the thing
If
that...
you had a family photo,
Yeah.
it's a bit hard to tell who's
There
who
is the thing that,
sometimes.
if you look at that King George V and the last Tsar of Russia, Nicholas, they are virtually identical.
Yeah.
So they are very alike because there is cousinship involved in there somewhere.
But we've got Reg Lai,
Yes.
and let's
the
just
wonderful Reg Lai.
let's just appreciate Reg
Yes.
Lai because he's got 2 or 3 scenes.
Mhm.
But he's by far the best character on screen, I think.
He is. Yeah.
In terms of
Yeah.
just entertaining
Yeah.
the audience,
And
isn't
in
it?
terms of a comedy character, he's much less annoying than Milo Clancy.
Yeah. I suppose you can see a bit of Milo
Yeah.
Clancy here, isn't
Yeah.
it? We just need a character to
pad
fill
the
out
episode
some
a bit.
scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But David Whittaker is having fun with this character,
Yeah.
and Reg Lai. Shall we announce it now?
Yes.
Reg Lai will be the link between another series for our sort of our video associated with this
Yes.
with the story, as we're going to look at him as Old Gory in the Ghosts of Motley Hall,
Yes.
aren't we?
And we love the Ghost of Motley Hall. It's
Yeah.
a lovely series.
As Reg Lai gets to play a ghost who carries his head under his arm.
Imagine the way he plays this character.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's not much difference between the way he's playing either of them. Really.
Again, the link between him and Milo Clancy is that both actors that play both parts also seem to play any other parts they play in the same kind of way.
But I noted on the notes Mrs. Thursday.
Yes.
Again.
Again.
Because we were only on about Mrs. Thursday
Yeah.
on the Round the Horn episode that we
were.
listened to.
We were. It was mentioned.
And I said, "What's Mrs. Thursday?"
Yes.
And then you told me.
I showed you it, and you were none the wiser.
Yeah. But,
It's a sort of comedy drama series, sort of initiated by Ted Willis.
yeah. Okay.
So,
Then we get some stock footage from Inferno,
well, not from Inferno. It'll
or
be shown
what will
in
be
Inferno.
from Inferno, and Troughton's only seen
As the Doctor.
as the Doctor, not recorded at this point.
No.
Either. So there's a
No.
bit of recording scenes out of order, which Barry Letts is pushing the studio
He
system
is.
here, and that's going to run into trouble
Problems,
later on,
yeah.
or earlier on, depending on.
What you're looking at.
Yeah, the caravan set is extremely bare,
It is.
and there's some spin.
Quite big, though, for a caravan.
Well, yeah, but then there are some spindly bushes outside which are
Yeah.
casting shadows on the white wall.
From the cyclorama.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a cyclorama, it just seems to be like white studio wall. Like it's from like the Mind Robber or something. I love the fact security and they can't sneak up on you.
No.
They've got the loudest siren in the world,
Yeah. Announcing it. Please car, please car, please car.
And of course, Troughton hiding in the box and making
Yes.
farty noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, boys.
Boys. The guard that smashes all the plates
Misses one.
He misses at least one, and the clock in the background shows
Various
erratic times.
Yeah.
So time seems to go backwards at one point. That line about people spend all their time making nice things and other people come along and break them. You can. I always make the association between that and missing episodes.
Yeah.
That people, put all the effort into making episodes,
things and then
and other people come along and wipe them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
And that's a very doctorish line,
Yeah.
that one, isn't
But
it?
it's nice now
Yeah.
that that's proved not to be the case with this story.
And
so.
you can also imagine that's the kind of line that any doctor could say.
Yeah.
You can imagine William Hartnell saying it. You can imagine John Pertwee saying it, or Tom Baker, or whoever.
Now I have to ask, chat up technique.
Yeah.
You like wine? Yes. We drink wine together.
Yeah.
Would that work on you?
No.
Why? What would you tell him to? Would you
I'd
back
be like,
away?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Don't like wine. But he's chancing his arm. He sees the nice lady.
The nice lady in the outfit
with a zip up front.
Yeah.
And you can't knock him for trying.
No,
Can you?
no, did not.
Dean's Dinesh is sitting on a really it's like a cut off sofa thing, isn't it?
Do you know what it reminds me of? And this is going to really date me. Do you remember those telephone chairs you used to get? You'd have like a little bench with your telephone on, and you'd have a chair next to it to sit on, so you could make your telephone calls in comfort. We didn't have one, but my next door neighbour did. You've not seen one, have you? It's like a little tiny sofa with a table next to it, though he doesn't have the table.
Right.
Because when they push
Has he
his
got
food
tassels
up,
on the bottom?
possibly.
Yeah, okay.
But when they push his food out, it comes off on a little trolley, doesn't it?
Fraser Hines gets an excuse to stuff himself.
Again.
That's the old actors thing about, you get a free meal. He's already had one, because he's had like dinner before.
And it gives him sort of a bit of business to do, doesn't
something
it?
to do. The sort of cameras and the scenery now sort of eating up studio time, because Barry Letts is doing clever things with the camera work that you don't actually notice until somebody points it out.
No, because it's such a standard thing.
Yeah. The fact that there's a camera in the position where... What's the name of the character? The one with the poison? Federin is standing. And he can't be stood there and the camera being there at the same time.
No, so that's the sort of alternate between him and the camera, don't they?
Bill Lyons has got this part by sending letters to Barry Letts, which is nice. I'm in Coronation Street, you should watch me in that.
Watch me in Coronation Street, I'm good.
And the line about wine from Alaska as well is one of those sort of lines that's it's taken on sort of new meaning as wine has become sort of not just French or German, but all around the world.
It's not that. I take that to mean that, because obviously Alaska's quite a cold place, isn't it? So I take that to mean that salamander has raised the temperature in Alaska.
Global warming,
that you can grow wine grapes there.
Now we get a missing scene, and it's very obvious if you watch the episode and don't know about the missing scene, the way there's just a sudden cut with the trolley business, and then Dinesh getting shot, and then all the guards are suddenly there, and it no matter how much you try and join two scenes together, it really does jar. But now we know there's a missing scene that at least explains
because Dinesh just disappears.
What's going on here?
He gets shot, and then you don't actually know if he's dead or not.
But there's sort of the problem of getting all the studio work done in time, and then it's just a case of we can't actually do that episode. You just have to make the best of it. And again, meanwhile, whilst all this studio work is going on and the rehearsals and everything, they're already off filming bits for the Web of Fear. So this is just a relentless grind.
It is
to get these stories finished, and
you can see why Patrick Troughton was so exhausted that I think at this point he decides he's going to leave. Soon.
Utterly knackering, and you just work out what everybody's having to do from week to week. So you can forgive, the rough around the edges nature of some of these stories. And as Terence Dicks always used to say, we were just trying to get 25 minutes on the screen each week and hope. Ideas of quality sometimes are just do something. Just something. But then we get sort of Bruce and Salamander having their scenes. And
also, there is a slight inkling as you watch this episode that, because as you say, you're starting to see how manipulative and Salamander is. Yeah. But on the other hand, you're starting to see that Bruce isn't entirely bad.
He's starting to think about what's going on,
and he's quite sympathetic towards Dinesh as well.
Yeah.
He sort of almost sticks up for him.
So it's really not sort of goodies and baddies, is it?
But I think you're starting to get the idea that perhaps Bruce isn't as bad as Salamander, where other characters possibly are.
Yeah. And in true Colin Baker Doctor fashion, Troughton gets the close up.
Yep.
at the end of the episode, even if he's not the
You
Doctor.
have to do a bit of sort of eye acting, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
But I think it really does work better in context.
Yes. Well, obviously it would do, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? So,
And so I admit that when I heard the story was recovered, I sort of went, well, that's okay, but I would have preferred something else.
Yeah.
But that was entirely based on my feelings about
episode
3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that it proved to be a lot more interesting than just what episode 3 is.
And episode 4 will take us in an entirely different
Indeed,
direction.
yeah. I think the highlights for me watching this were episode 1 and episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
The other episodes are good,
Yeah.
but those were the two that really surprised me
Yes.
by how
Episode
good
4 is extraordinary for the direction it now takes.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we've still got the Ghosts of Motley Hall to
yes,
see.
which we'll be doing.
We'll
in the
do
week.
that fairly soon.
Yeah.
See you again for episode 4 then.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.